Hello. I'm coming on here tonight completely unscripted, out of my utter sense of anger, outrage, frustration, and sadness at what on earth is going on in the world today, and in particular what is going on in Great Britain. I'm not a regular vlogger, as it were. I made a 2 or 3 about the COVID, my observations on the COVID virus back in March and early April. I'm forced, my subject today is the black movement, the Black Lives Matter, and the media. I refuse to watch the football on television, the Premier League football, because it has adopted the stance that it supports Black Lives Matter, which we all know is a Marxist, nihilist movement designed to reduce us to the state of North Korea or early Russia post the revolution. Sport, as far as I'm concerned, should not be politicised. It is pure and should remain outside the realms of politics. Sponsorship of football should also remain outside the realms of of political opinion. It is not the forum, and it should not be the forum. Players should not be forced, either by the broadcaster Sky or by their clubs or by the Premier League, to endorse, to talk about, and to take the knee before football matches for a vicious and pernicious movement intent on causing utter chaos and destruction of society as we know it. I stupidly turned on the radio in my car today because I'd remembered a test match had started, a cricket test match, England versus the West Indies. I heard a couple of balls before lunch and then was met with Jonathan Agnew doing his usual lunchtime thing. Jonathan Agnew is a broadcaster whom I like and respect, and whom it has always been a delight to listen to his amusing, incisive, and always neutral words. But today, as with the BBC, all they seemed concerned about was the dreadful state of racism in England, the dreadful state of racism within cricket, and the guilt and the shame of those white British and those white people involved in cricket, at what the oppression and what they were seemingly doing to black people. Utter nonsense. Utter and complete nonsense. Cricket has always been an inclusive game, maybe with the exception of South Africa pre the end of apartheid. We have had a large number of Asian and black cricketers play for England over decades now. We have never not chosen people because of the colour of the skin. We have picked them purely on their ability. Cricket is not, in my view, a racist game. Sport, in my view, is not racist. Stupidly, I put on Sky TV to watch a bit of the cricket about 5:30 this evening, and I simply couldn't. I couldn't anymore, because all I was met with during an interval when the players weren't on the pitch because of bad light was a long 5-minute plus advert from Sky about the oppression, about racism in sport, about the same old rubbish that's been bandied about for the last few weeks. And then we get an interview with Jason Holder, a lovely cricketer, a lovely man. They're not asking him about cricket. All they're concerned about are his views on Black Lives Matter. As well, when the West Indies took the pitch today, they went on one knee and put their fist up in a Black Power salute. What on earth is going on? Why are we apologising? Why is this happening? Again, Sky are politicising our sport. We do not want to hear politics when we're trying to watch a game of cricket, a game of football. It is not the place. It is not the forum. You are forcing sportsmen whose views may not agree with those of the broadcaster or those of the authority who run the game, to stick or adhere to opinions they may not agree with, and they have no choice. They're contractually obliged. It is wrong. It is completely wrong, and it must stop. Madness is ensuing. Utter and complete madness. It reminds me of the words of a W.B. Yeats poem I studied many, many years ago, and I can't remember of it now because, as I said, this is unscripted. But the words somewhere in it, turning in a something gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. And it to me and to my memory, it's about the madness of the world. It comes to something when two of the people I'm admiring most for their forthright opinions during this latest incarnation of racial protest gone mad are two people at completely the opposite spectrums politically. Chris McGlade, the Northern Bard, I've heard several times now and enjoyed his content, enjoyed his sense, enjoyed his humanity, enjoyed his objective and subjective view of what is going on. He doesn't care, as the rest of us really don't care, what colour anybody is. All we want is fairness, everybody equal. The other one is Jim Davidson, a comedian who I never really liked, to be honest. I never really found him funny. And he will say himself that in his early days he was certainly near the mark as far as many aspects of racism or sexism was concerned. And unapologetically so. And I admire the fact he sticks to it. But now his twice-weekly podcast, YouTube videos, I agree with completely. He speaks utter sense. He was complaining today about the Bianca Williams affair. Why on earth is Cressida Dick? Why is she apologising? What did those officers do wrong? I heard that video. Those officers were polite. And I'm the last person to sing the praises of the police. But those officers were polite. They were not over the top. They were not over aggressive. They were not racially profiled. Firstly, their vehicle was blacked out. Secondly, they refused to stop. Thirdly, they refused to cooperate. All indications that you've got something to hide. But the only result is a pathetic apology from the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police. All she's done by that is say to the Black, Asian and the Black Lives Movement is, we're unpoliceable. You cannot touch us. We will not stop you because we cannot dare be called racist. We cannot dare be called supremacists. We cannot dare be called fascists simply by carrying out the jobs. How do you police? You cannot police in those circumstances. It is utter nonsense. There are other examples, a plethora of examples, every single day. There is no colour. Most of us don't see colour. Most of us want a peaceful, settled society where everybody gets to where they get to on merit. There have always been, throughout history, people who have been born with an advantage. Lucky them. Lucky them, but they are few and far between. The majority of the people who do well in life do so because they work hard. Those who don't are either unlucky, but maybe just don't have the drive and what it takes to succeed. But being affluent doesn't make you necessarily successful in life. Success is how you are, what you are to other people. So, for goodness sake, this agenda must stop. Stop watching the BBC. Do not pay your licence fee. Stop watching Sky. Cancel your subscription. Their motivation is purely to boost the Black Lives Matter movement, to undermine the current government in this country and in the US. The BBC, what I thought were once reasonable broadcasters in the shape of Andrew Marr and the others, are all all being made to put forward anti-government views. My view is this government has done fantastically well in insurmountable odds. Nobody has faced this kind of pandemic. Nobody knew what this COVID-19 was. Nobody knew how it would spread. Nobody knew how to treat it. And they've had to react, as have all countries. React. Duck with the punches, roll with the punches. But react, see what is best, take expert advice. Nobody wants anybody to die. Nobody. This nonsense now that Starmer has picked up about the care homes, simply because he can't find anything else to do. But it's simple as this. The person in charge of the care home is the manager. If it's a local authority care home, then it's the local authority. The person responsible for supplying that or getting the supplies in is the person who either owns it, the manager of it, or the local authority. If it's privately run, the government can't do much about it as long as it applies to the laws. There's a Care Homes Act, I believe. So it's not the Prime Minister's fault if care homes, who largely exist as far as I'm concerned in order to make an awful lot of money for their owners, fail to follow guidelines. Think of themselves first, but also think about it. COVID has killed the vulnerable. The most vulnerable in our society are in care homes. So it is no coincidence that a large number of the people who have died are in care homes. It doesn't make, the people who look after them bad, because the nurses, the doctors, they're fantastic. The carers, they're fantastic. They've risked their lives. It's the owners. It's same with the NHS. It's the people in management. It's the people drawing the big pensions and the big money in management in the NHS. It's the people who own the care homes, the managers, the people who are making money. They cut corners in order to make more money. They're there to push themselves forward. And that is it. Stop this nonsense now. Stop it once and for all. It's madness, utter madness. What are we doing to our children? What are we doing to the world? This identity politics creates a divide. It makes us look at people as different colours. It makes us look at people as different nationalities. Let us simply look at the person and say, who are you? Not where are you from? Not what colour is your skin. We don't see that. And for goodness sake, the establishment, stop apologising for being who you are. Stop apologising for being British and proud of it. Stop apologising for the colour of your skin. Why should we apologise? Boris, I love you, but stop this woke nonsense. Stop apologising to people. Stop trying to make everything politically correct. We didn't vote for you for that. We didn't elect you for that. We elected you to be strong, to lead us, to lead the country, to be strong, to stop the nonsense. I trust you'll be able to do that. The press don't want you to, but ignore them. Don't go on to Piers Morgan's show. All of the government refused to. The man is just a self-publicist. And that's all he is. He even thinks it's the Piers Morgan show, and actually it's GMB. And it's been around a lot longer than he's been shouting his mouth off. So, there we go. Stop watching GMTV in the mornings. If Piers is on, I understand that he's got a few weeks off. Stop Sky. Stop the BBC. The BBC will cease to exist without the licence fee. Stop paying it. They will not chase you. They cannot chase you. They don't have the resources to chase you. Sorry I've ranted. It's purely and simple because all these things have been going through my head today. If it has been incoherent, if it's been unconnected and uncoordinated, I apologise. But I didn't plan what I was doing. I was just getting hotter and hotter under the collar. So thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe. Please share, please like, please comment if you wish. Thank you.